Hello, Misfits. First of all, please can anyone, if you know of any, recommend books or resources or speakers or authors on early brain development or just brain development? This is something I've wanted to look at for a while. My brain doesn't work in what's considered a typical way. In some ways that is of benefit to me. There's been parts of my life where my brain development has been interrupted. Some of them I know what they are. I think subconsciously I probably know what they all are, but I haven't had the opportunity to go into them all yet. I was watching something interesting yesterday related to this topic, and it's put me back onto it more urgently. Can you see that dappled light, by the way? The video was Women of Impact, which is a popular YouTube channel for women's empowerment. The host, Lisa, don't know if she calls it interviewed, but she had a conversation with Andrew Bustamante, who used to be, I think, a CIA spy. And he analyses behaviour, and he has the ability to more accurately categorise things as why someone is behaving in a certain way, rather than jumping to a conclusion that people would think, oh, everybody's a narcissist, oh, that person's a narcissist because they said they've got a great idea, my brilliant idea, or something like that. So let's call it an interview. The interview she did with Andrew recently, which I watched yesterday, was it was talking about Kanye West, who personally I've never really liked him that much, not as a person, but just because I went to one of his concerts once when I went to university in Birmingham, and there was a really violent atmosphere in the crowd. It was absolutely terrifying, and when he came on the stage, he stood there in this sort of like dramatic pose with his hands up and didn't actually start performing for like more than 10 minutes. He just stood there kind of like basically asking the crowd to cheer and scream for him or whatever. So I didn't have a great experience. I've never really followed him since then, but it was a really good video where Andrew went through some of the ways that he would analyse Kanye West's outbursts and shouting and behaviour, and this stuff's new to me because I don't watch telly, but I guess some people, they might know all about it, like how he used to behave with his wife and things like that, and how they dealt with it. And one of the things that came up, which is what I'm trying to get to the point, is that he pointed out there's a cognitive problem with Kanye West, and I can relate to that so much because I have that as well. I have a high IQ and I have talents in certain areas, and I'm autistic, although that's not something I've spoken about publicly. I like, my brain works in a certain way. It's sort of more simplistic. Well, it is more simplistic, but I haven't read any books on this, so I'm not going to be able to kind of explain it in a very formal way, but from my own experience I can describe it. I kind of like okay, so let's talk about what I can't do, because this is kind of one of the things that came up in the video. Andrew was pointing out that Kanye West can't listen to something and then within that moment think about what to say and say something in a way that controls the outcome. He's just on the literal level, like the basic level of actually trying to understand what is being said. That's the same for me as well. So basically that means that he can't manipulate somebody with his language. And I have that as well. Not that I'd want to. But it's a hot topic for me because the reason I relate so strongly to Lucy Letby is because I've been portrayed as something so different from what I am. And it's all over me, like this clinging all over me like a skin. The version of me that some people in the world have portrayed me as, and that they actually think that is who I am, or they tell me that's what they think, or they tell each other that's who I am, is a manipulative person, bad at making decisions, irresponsible. It's not true. So it just catches my breath to even just say those things out loud. And it's the same with Lucy in the sense that she's described as a killer when she's actually a lifesaver. It's the opposite, you know? And for me to have been described as being manipulative, not just once, but by several people around that time in my life, it's just such a dagger to my soul. It's such a tearing away of my becoming and my attempt to actually be here as a human being and actually just live my life. To have asked for help and be told that, oh, look at this amazing hill, that I know what I'm doing and I'm being manipulative. My brain actually can't do that. It can't think of what's being said to me, process it, and work ways around it to make the other person feel bad or to make a certain outcome. I can't plan ahead in that way, and my brain can't do those things. So it's a little bit funny that this came to me through a analysis of Kanye West, but I don't mind, you know. And also I like to kind of I like it when something blasts my mind and just makes me think, like realise something. And in this case, you know, maybe Kanye West isn't a total idiot. He didn't have certain cognitive skills or ability because of what's happened with his brain, and it's possible he may have grown up with say being autistic or having cognitive having things interrupt his cognitive development. I think that's the word, brain development, let's say. And also he apparently has become public about having had a brain injury when he was about 25, and it's caused these sort of like behaviours and things that he does, that he's been doing ever since then, and he didn't know and nobody knew. That's what had been at the base of it. So it's all physical stuff. I want to make more points, but I'm just tired, and I want to explain all the ins and outs of it, but I'm tired of hearing my own voice. I'll just try and go a little bit longer. Maybe I can just bring it back to here. I was feeling bad, and I had the idea to come here, and this used to be a favourite walk of mine. I can actually go up there. It doesn't look steep, but it's really steep. It's quite an exciting landscape, and you can walk on top of it. It's really good up there. And then this bit, there's a walk along the stream here. So I had the idea to come here and also share a bit of the scenery. Alright, lots of love to you all.